everyone. So I say that I will come on and show you guys the Everydollar app that we use for budgeting. Here, what you can see is not mine. This is the one that my daughter use every now and then when she logs into it. So I decided to use hers. That way you can kind of see a little bit of what's going on. So, since we're still in January, I'm coming to you now to show you this so you can get it ready for February. Whatever you put in January, you can click this drop down box right here and then click on February. And if I click on February, it'll say let's start planning for February. So it took us about a good 2 to 3 months to kind of get everything that we really wanted to put in it. So I just want to give you just a quick little run through so you can kind of see, where she kind of know what she should be making on Fridays because she does like, nanny work, picking up kids from school. So she should know how much it is for the month. And when she comes here, when she gets a paycheck, she can just add a new transaction and add it to income. And then she would just add the income. And once she do that, so let's say we added 150. Let's say she got 150 and then it's added. So then it goes here. Sometimes for us, we will put on here the lowest month that we actually have, but when we receive it, it'll be more. But we don't change it here because if we live on the less than what we thought, then that's a good thing for us. But as you can see, this didn't change. So this number here left to budget is based on these numbers right here. So, and also what we do is at the end of the month, if we have like any money left over after we do our snowball, we send a big check to the bills or consumer that we have. Whatever is left in our checking account, then we just put it as like a rollover cash or our buffer. So sometimes we will actually leave this amount with a dollar amount in it because it'll give us a little buffer. In this section here is your tithes and offering, the same, same thing as anything. Here is your savings. So yes, I know some of her information is out there, but that's okay. On the Dave Ramsey plan, he wants you to have baby steps. And one cool thing about the Everydollar app, if you click on here, it will show you the actual baby steps, so you don't actually have to keep going into the book or go online and see what it is that you actually have to do. So everything will basically be here, and since she doesn't have any debt, that's done. So her next thing will be to do is to save whatever her 3 to 6 months would be. So everything is kind of in order for you so you can see. But 4, 5, and 6 all kind of go hand in hand with some things, but we'll talk about that later. So let's get back to the bills. So here is her emergency fund, and then whatever she planned, her one savings account, and we have several. Like I told you before, we have different savings accounts for different things. So we can't say, well, I'll just leave it in my checking account. No, we move it and we allocate that money just for that, and that's how we go about saving. So savings is different. And then like if you had her rent that she pays us, or your mortgage or whatever, then it will go here. And one thing to keep in mind also is that when you put stuff over here, it also comes over here and it'll show you what percentage of your money or your household income actually goes to that particular part of your home. And one thing that he recommends is not a set in stone number, but he does not want, or he suggests that 25% of your take home should be going towards your home, your mortgage. And some people say, well, what about my mortgage insurance? What about this? If you want to factor it in there, that's fine. But long as this number, if it's 26 or 27, no big deal. You just know it'll be a little tight. But if 30% of your income or 40% of your income is going to your home, then your home may just be a little bit too much. And then he talks about like if you need to sell it, refinance and all of that. But that's a different subject that I won't get into. So what we do is, and it's almost set up the same, utilities for the home. So cell phones, your water bill, your light bill, internet, cable, just anything that you have just to run the home will go right here in this area here. If you have a gas bill, all of that kind of stuff to run just the utilities in the home will go right here. So in the transportation area, as you can see, my daughter does not have a car note, but if I had a car note, I mean, since we have a car note, we do not put it here. We put it in the debt category. But anything for as transportation for your vehicle, and if you notice, auto insurance is here, is not in here. So this is where we say, well, we plan to do 150, and she hasn't used it because, like I said, sometimes she remembers to log in and sometimes she don't. But this will also help you understand how much you spent 1 month to a previous month. Car replacement. If we thought her car was on a downhill slope, then we can say, okay, every month we need to keep setting aside, money for the car. And we'll do that. All change. We just keep these categories here because we know we will need to put something in there. All change. Everybody know every 3 to 5,000 miles, 3 months, you will need an all change. So if you can kind of guesstimate when you will need your all change, you can go ahead and budget for it. Registration, that's every year. If you keep a little note like on registration, you can put notes to say that this is every. I think hers is in July. So we can just put, okay, well, maybe if I get the caps off, we can put July. That way I have this little note and it'll be a clue to me to go ahead and make sure when July comes that that gets done. And I know my inspection and registration will go. Tires. Um, on our budget, we budget $20 every month for tires because, like I say, my tires are so expensive. So $20 every month goes into an automotive saves account, and it just sit there. If I don't need it, it just sit there. So you can say, okay, every month I'm gonna put $10 towards, tires just in case. You can have a repair budget also. You can say, okay, every month I'm gonna just put this money in a savings. You can have a savings account just for your vehicle where you just put money in it. You don't touch that money. You be wanting to be tempted, but you just don't touch that money and just keep doing it. So when that day hits that you need it, it's there. And even though people are like, well, I have my emergency fund. Well, you're going to need tires. You may need a repair. So if you just go ahead and budget for it now, you won't really need to touch the emergency fund. So if we keep going down to taxes and insurance, that goes here. Auto insurance, renters insurance. I put that in there. Some people actually have like life insurance that they do not pay in a paycheck. You can put all that here. So groceries and eating out. This is one category for us that we have about 5 things listed. So we have what we spend on groceries, eating out for restaurants. Tristan even has his own category. We even have a Papa Murphy category, and we say, okay, well, we only going to spend $40 this month on Papa Murphy's because we know Papa Murphy. If I can even put notes, Tuesday $10 or Friday $5. So that way we'll know, what why we have that amount. And the add an item is really easy. You just click on it and you add an item. If you don't like it, then you can just delete it. And even if you don't use that, again, if you add stuff, I would say leave it on there. That way when you transfer it to the next month, you can see, what you have left. So see here we have 260. So if she wanted to say $20 will go towards Papa Murphy, then you see that number automatically change. So you can kind of keep up with what you have left. So, and you can add it if the kids have, if they pay for lunch at school, you can add a category here and everything. So in the education part is where we actually put Tristan's daycare expense in the education, because for us it's the education. If we get an email or something saying a field trip or whatever, we can add a line and just call it a field trip. That way we know where everything is going and how much we need. As you keep going, you can add different things in lifestyle. Lifestyle is those needs, is what I call it. It's not the wants, it's just the needs. So a category for clothing, hair stuff, if she want to take a vacation, she can start budgeting for, which her vacation is already done and paid for. Last minute gifts, Christmas coming up, if she want to get her nails done. Also in this lifestyle part, we have gym memberships. We also have memberships that we subscribe to online, because all of that stuff we can actually turn it off if we need to save money in those areas, because like I said before, it is a want, not a need. So in this lifestyle stuff that's outside of, what you need, you could just make a category, a line item, or a line item under the category, and keep going. And once again, it'll tell you how much of your income goes towards that. So right now, as you can see, 18% of her money goes into, savings. Here, if you go to the doctor every month, or you may need medication every month, and you have the recurring prescriptions that you may not have, like a flexible spending card like some people have. I know we have it here. You can just say, I know I'm going to have a doctor's visit, update doctor's visit coming up. I'm going to go ahead here. Oh, that medication I got to get every month, put it here. Oh, it's time for me to have an eye exam. So you can put eye exam and glasses, or dental cleaning, or even any kind of dental work. You can put here any vitamin supplement, or anything under the health and medical, you can add here. And this last category here is where you will list all of your debts. On my login, my debt is listed from, the first thing that I have listed on mine is my snowball. And whatever my snowball amount is after I put all the minimum payments. So in this category, I will put all of my debts, smallest to largest, after I list them on paper. Then I'll go here and I put it, and then I also will put the due date that's on it, and I'll also put the due date here. And as you can see, you can also fill in the information with the balance, the minimum payment, if you did an extra payment, any notes. And then when you make a payment, you just add the transaction. So say if I had all of my debts listed on here, but I say, wow, I have $240 left. I can either take half of this 240 and put here, or I can say I'm gonna just take the whole 200. So say if that was the case. So now it's telling me I have $40 left to budget. So I already told myself 200 was going towards getting out of debt. This is going towards the snowball. So this is also how you can see it. And another reason why I put the smallest one before I put the next one is because I know that this bill would actually take this snowball to pay it, and then I can see the balance. So then when I click over here, it'll tell me how much I have left, how good it's going. But we have this on our phone where we can see it. So every time we make a transaction, so say if we go to the grocery store, and then we just add a transaction and say we spent $25 in groceries, and we went to the Kroger. So we just add it. And then it tells us that we have $35 remaining. Or if you click on the arrow, it'll tell you how much you spent. So it is one good thing to have, because Preston can see it from his phone, I can see it from my phone. People ask, but what do you do about other items that you may buy? I'm telling you, we have this down to a science. So for us, under you can add different categories. And let me see. Oh, so you just add an additional budget one. And if you wanted to add, other other category, this is where we put like household um, household items. So this will take care of anything that we may do, like toilet paper. Even for my couponing, I put probably on here coupon spending, something like that. So I give myself, okay, well, I can only spend X amount of money couponing this month. So I put it in a other category. And as you can see, it popped up. It popped up right there. So like I said before, it took us it really took me about 3 months to set it up. And then Preston and I sat down and we kind of tweaked it a little bit. And now we have every category, everything that we need. And I tell people that I'm helping out at work is that don't do the next month, one, because you want to try to, prepare and get ahead until you think you have every category. So if you go back through your your bank account or your credit card statement and see where you spending money, where you always shopping, and you give yourself a budget for it. Like, okay, well, I like to go to racetrack, and get this one particular drink or whatever. You can go ahead and you can put it under the food category, call it racetrack, give yourself a budget, and then that way you know. And if you go over budget, so like say if we did eating out and we added a transaction, but she went out and she treated her friends to dinner. So we'll just put Chili's. What happened is it'll show you the negative and say, oh, you went over, and then it turns red. So you can't say, well, I'm gonna just take it from Papa Murphy's to do that. No, you over budget. So I would say go down to the lifestyle stuff and say, well, I guess I'm not buying no hair stuff because I went over budget, over here. But it just take you time to kind of, figure it out. And if you ever want to see all your transactions, you just click on transactions and you can see them all that you did right here. So it's pretty good. We like it. And like I say, it took us a couple of months to get, adjusted to it. We still also do our handwritten budget just so I can highlight when a bill is paid and just everything else. But this, I just wanted to bring this quick little video just to show you the Everydollar app so you can kind of, see how it looks and hope you will be able to use it. But if you have any questions that I may be able to answer, and I'm sure there's other videos out there talking about the Everydollar app, I would love to help. So just leave questions down in the comment section. And until the next video, I'll talk to you guys soon.